All right, everything should be good. All right, so I was working on this yesterday for a bit, trying to get these, hey, Disturbed. Was working on this a little bit yesterday because we got, we only had one face to go to make the dovetail complete. And I blew out a couple places, so I ended up stopping gluing them, and we'll finish it today. We're pretty much 90% there. So I'm not too worried it'll take too long, and then we'll start cutting the grooves on the vise chop itself. So hopefully, without any, let's see if we can get this fixed. All right, so without any real delay, we should be starting to fit the rear vise chop to the rest of the structure by the end of today. And yeah, I know you weren't supposed to be here, Mecca, but thanks for showing up. I did get a message from Nails. She will not be joining us. Thoughts with her. Hopefully Sledge is doing better. She's going to go visit Sledge. Hey, Random Tinkerer. Hey. Oh, 1 second. Before we go too far. And there's Slarty. Yeah, I always forget. I need to turn the volume up on the computer when I take control of it again. Otherwise, it lost me. It lost me. Hi. And it lost me. Hi. There we go. All right. Get some of the glue off of this side here. I was like, wait, why does this seem perfect? Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of glue on the face that we're going to want to get rid of. But we're really just determined to get this done. Just get this face all the way down. Woo! All right. Well, that tells me the alert command's working. Like I said, I think right now I've only got a few commands that I gotta fix, and then I'll be completely Streamlabs free. Like I'm working on the counters, and what I need to do is load in a few sound effects for the alerts. Thinking about making them a little more custom sounding than what like Streamlabs offered without having to pay them money. So I'm going to take my Zoom H5. It's a little handy recorder that I actually use as an interface as well. And I'm going to start recording weird things, or if I already have sound effects for it, like I have a cannonade, so I could use that for raids. So the raid might become a cannonade sound effect. Follows, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking about putting in an automated thing where if someone redeems highlight, it yells at me to look at my chat. I got to figure out what that redeem will actually be. What would a Roy Underhill command be? what should I do for it? Got to crowdsource that one. I'm open to suggestions. I'm, like I said, not against adding, you know, Roy Underhill, but I just don't know what that redeem would be. Or what that would be. Would we just play like a small clip, or would we just bring up a clip of me mustacheless, or not mustacheless, beardless, or do I have to stop and say say the intro? I'm Roy Underhill, and welcome to the Woodwright Shop. I mean, that requires me to also get a redwood, so I don't know how much of a fine line I'm skating with Twitch anyways, with the fact that I have a counter on how many times I end up cutting myself while making this stuff. But, Mecca, you'll probably find this hilarious. I found a way to get some of the old DVDs, so now I have season 1. Probably going to get season 2 here soon. If you remember, this is the one where I sawed slightly off edge, so we did have to clean the face a little bit to get it back to its line. Oh, nice. We may have to talk a little bit, but I mean, like mine, I'm coding mine in C, and I think I've overcomplicated it, but I think I have a solution as well that's a little bit simpler, so I'm just trying to make sure it works before I take it away from Streamlabs, because I'll also have to preload it up to whatever the current number is. Because I'm thinking about making it count how many times I've bled on the current project and how many times I've bled, like say in the past month or the past year or past 3 projects. Yeah, I'm actually glad I changed over to StreamerBot. It's just, like I said, I haven't fully implemented everything yet until, but once it's fully implemented, like, I guess my options are endless. Well, broke it out again. Honestly, it doesn't matter on this side, but I just want it for being able to measure out whether or not, you know, measure the face, because this one is not measurable on this side, but, or not quite measurable. So we'll just work from this side and hope for the best. Honestly, where is me mallet? Hey, JMB! And Apocalypse Cat. Thank you for stopping in here. Don't have much more to go down on this, but like to do it with as little blowout on this edge as possible. Yeah, the other edge was right here. If you can't tell from the glue. But then again, I kept the glue minimal. It's one thing I'm really liking about hot hide glue is that like once it starts cooling, I can just peel the gooey part that is on the face and it comes off almost completely clean. Well, dang. There we go, we're starting to chip it off. Like I said, this part's not even worth saving. It's more of a, to keep, it's more to transfer pattern at this point because this is the very base and we'll be cutting off the chunklet underneath the vice chop so that it looks nice and flat. There, the line has been transferred. The finish is quite literally linseed oil and beeswax. Every once in a while I put a little more on it, but that's all that I put in as a finish. For my mallet. That is all it was given. Mainly because it is a heavy impact tool. If you put a actual sealing finish on it, it will crack under the stress. And if you actually want to know, one second, let me clean up this edge. Because I haven't opened this yet. There we go. When I got this, I stripped all of the polyurethane off the handle and just linseed and waxed it as well. It actually feels a lot better on your hands to take that hard polyurethane finish off. You get a lot less blisters. It feels better. I must have missed something, Mecca. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention the time I was at work watching you. I was just noticed you were on, so I lurked while I had to deal with several fun problems. But I agree with some people, like the you said a screw and a washer. I mean, you made them on your lathe. I would submit them. Maybe even if you can thread a bolt, like a square bolt or something with it. Just to bring like a set of fasteners. You'd have a washer, not a bolt, sorry, like a bolt, a washer, and a nut. Thread a nut for it, and if you can. I don't know if you have the machinery for it. But to me, that's a set. It's a set of fasteners, threaded to receive each other. Like I said, I'm not going to be participating because I kind of screwed up things with mine. But that chunk of wood is prime for a turning saw. Like, I printed out the pattern, and it is basically like not exactly what I need, but I'll be able to use a good chunk of that screwed up piece of wood to make the turning saw. So once we get done cleaning this up, we'll transfer the dovetails over to the vise face, or the vise chop, and start sawing those out. Hopefully getting a good way in, because we won't need too deep of a chop. Actually, it's just boiled linseed oil. It's just boiled linseed oil out of a regular everyday, you know, like the chemically boiled linseed oil that you get from a hardware store. I do not have the time to let something dry for weeks on end. I mean, I'm not going to be eating off of this. I'm not going to be eating off of handles. Once that stuff's cured, it's perfectly fine to handle. Almost there. No, yeah, it's perfectly fine once it's cured. It's not a food safe thing, but handling it, it's not going to go through your skin. Just make sure you wear gloves while you're applying it. But once it's cured, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, when it's food type stuff, I typically end up using a polyurethane of some form. Just because you can get it food safe, or a spar or something. You know, not spar, sorry, but you know, a food safe kind of finish. But I don't do a lot of food related items. I do more furniture, so I'm not truly worried about that. Okay, let's double check this side. It needs just a little more work. Just get some bumps off. Okay, and then where is my mallet? Oh wait, this is the easy one to take out. Double check this side. Maybe double check the side that actually is required. And I'm not really worried about this. I'm still wondering if I'm going to saw this portion of the tail off as well, but I probably won't, just for stability's sake. Okay. It does. Raw linseed oil will cure. It just takes forever. And honestly, the best way to help it cure is to put it in, as bad as it sounds, because it will spontaneously combust. Put it in some sort of heat source, not like an oven. Like when you're making oilcloth, you put that stuff in the sun, so that basically you have to raise the temperature a little bit. Like if I put raw linseed oil on my bench right now, it would not cure for months because it's too cold. You need to apply raw linseed oil at like 60 degrees Fahrenheit or above. But it will cure. It just takes forever. It will polymerize. But it is one of those things that a lot of people put it on a little too thick. What you do is you put it on, wipe it off. Put it on, wipe it off. Because if you put it on thick, it will take forever to cure and it will become very tacky. As it cures, you want to let it cure in thinner layers. A faster way to help it cure is by boiling it, and that's where we get boiled linseed oil. You literally bring it up just below the flash temperature of, go ahead and mark a redwood, right below the flash temperature of said spontaneous combustion oil, which basically kickstarts the polymerization of it. Traditional boiled linseed oil is literally put in a double boiler until it's like 140. Oh, look at that. Yeah, let me, ow. I love when I use the seat back here. Let me grab the bandage bag before I make everything a nice crimson color. How old are these bandages? So old that like trying to open them didn't work. I gotta peel it apart with my will. Okay, there. They're still sterile, they're just... There we go, that was a definite redwood. I had to actually stop and get a bandage. Wasn't one that I stared at and went, I don't know if that's bleeding or if that's just an abrasion. Nope, that one definitely put a nice little red mark on my ankle. All right. Now we have a tabletop that has two sliding legs that go in. Now we play the fun game of starting to attach the rear chop to the legs. Actually, before we start doing that, want to make sure that we're not dum-dums. Okay, what is this? This is A. This is A. Okay. And B. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. And I'll explain it, don't worry. We're seating these in here so that I can look and see if we have any shoulder problems. Which, yes. Because if we have shoulder problems, we're going to have a gap problem. We have a shoulder problem all the way down this guy. The question is, how do I want to solve it? Do I want to just sit here and translate that shoulder down, or do I want to this side's not that bad. This one, quite literally, one side is a problem, one side is not. Oh, 1 second. There we go. This one quite literally is just square this face up. And I can tell where I didn't cut all the way to the line. This one, on the other hand, it's not lined up at all. Which tells me the easiest fix is to shorten this. Oh, duh. Is he visible? Sorry about that. I forgot it was unlocked. Okay, so I am looking at this and going, yeah, this is cut just a tad bit long, isn't it? That explains a lot. That does explain a lot. Plus, honestly, trimming the back just a little bit is going to help with expansion anyways. But you really don't want the dovetail shoulder protruding, because it will make the vise face not line up with anything. Okay, let's see. So if there's any way I can. Okay, never mind. We'll just do it with old-fashioned mallet power. Once again, it's the internal face of the joint. You'll never see it. So just all right, rubber mallet, get over there. Stays like this, and I'm glad I wear glasses. These chips are just flying right at my face at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay. That one almost got in my mouth. Shoulder plane. No. No one saw it. Didn't happen. In fact, that's an easy fix. We will figure that out in a second. Of course, I need to keep fitting this. So, okay, that's kind of funny that that was entirely the part that was hanging up everything. Okay, just a hair bit more. So that tells me, yeah. We're on the right path. Just a hair bit more. I mean, like, at this point, it's more of, honestly, let's see if we can fix this part, because it's not flat. Yeah, it is very brittle at times, but I see that hydrate. Did I miss anything else? Nope, just a hydrate. All right, let me get, coffee's probably good and warmed up now. We can probably take it off the little warming plate here. Put it on my little home stove. Can't wait to have a bigger space, so I don't have as many knee knockers everywhere. I actually toyed with rotating everything 90 and having the garage door behind me. But that's dangerous in a different way because the shavings will start dropping into an inlet for the sub pump. That you don't want. Okay. It's a little more crucial to get these to fit correctly at this point because I want the top and I want the face to be fairly tight. I like the fact that I can knock it in with my hands now. I don't need the mallet anymore. Okay, I can see where it's wrong. Which also means I can just well, you'd think that, but I guess not. Alright, you can see where that one's wrong. I didn't think we would be doing all the fine tuning. Okay. No, I said I can see where it's wrong. There we go. Would help if I didn't I remembered where I was actually working at. Should be peeling this face off. I hope I didn't just make that even. There we go. Because this face is not all the way down to the gauge line. Once I get that down to the gauge line, we're home solid on this one. We'll still check, but we should be home solid, provided I get it down to the gauge line. Well, hello there, Kat, Miss May. Glad to see you guys are here. We're just fine-tuning these sliding dovetails so that we can start working on attaching the rear vise chop to the table leg combo. Okay, back to the front. Because, like I said, I'm a stickler for this part because if these shoulders aren't flush with the front of the table portion, you're going to have a gap. Or if they're standing proud, I should say. If they're standing under, it will tighten the piss out of it. Okay, B to B. Just a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more, and then we'll move on to the other one. And while we're doing that, I'll probably plop a little glue on this. Or ignore it altogether because it's going to be hidden and it's not really affecting anything. Whoa, what do we got here? Oh, wasn't expecting you to show back up, but thank you for the follow, Rommel. And now you see my my follow thing is Rocky Horror themed for, I think, more the reason that most all of it is somehow tied to Tim Curry. But thank you for showing back up. I said, not sure if Slarty told you I was streaming and got you watching me again, but once again, thank you. Got any questions? Feel free to ask. Let's see. Oh, geez. Size of tomatoes. Sounds perfect. When's the strawberry shortcake then? Eunice. Wait, is that the winter storm? And Dudley. Or are we starting to talk about like Dudley Do Right here? Man, these things just love to tear the sides of your fingers. That's another redwood. Should probably just start wearing like cut-proof gloves, I guess. Or get a different chisel for paring. Oh, cool. I have butterfly stitches in this. Tells you how prepared I am, just in case I like really do some damage. But yep, that was definitely another redwood. Okay, now the parts that get cut the most now have bandages on them. That should can't be Roy Underhill inspired if you don't have blood coming out of you here and there doing woodwork. All projects, blood, sweat, and tears. It is required. It is known. You think cherry is actually naturally red? No, it is not naturally red. It's all the blood, sweat, and tears. All right, now let's double check this one. Oh yeah, this one we were just gonna clean up the back a little bit. And then see if that fit. You know, give it a little expansion. We're gonna need you anyways. Do-do-do. Blood, swarf, and pierce. Jesus. I've created monsters. Oh yeah, I can definitely see where it fell off the line here. Good to know. Yeah, it's just slightly over the line. Okay. Yep, that lines it up. So that's probably why one side is poking out while the other isn't. Not much off, but just enough off. Almost there. All right. I wish. All right. Well, let's hope I don't have cherry pieces in my coffee, but I mean, you know, whatever, cherry smoked coffee. Glad I checked that. Okay. Otherwise, all of that work would have been for naught. Okay. That will most likely, and we're going to check. Okay. Yeah, but that will most likely get A fitting nice and tight. Now, okay, I think that fixed it. Possibly. All right. One of these days we'll figure out why it just decides to give up. All right, so for those who missed it, one leg is fitting perfectly. The other, we're doing just a tiny bit of fitting. And then we are going to move on to cutting the dovetail grooves into the rear chop of the vise. Cherry. Cherry, cherry, baby. And if you're a keen observer, we're back on leg B, because leg A is working exactly the way I want it to. I want it to actually be slightly recessed so that when we put the legs in, when I put the chop in, it'll pull the legs forward slightly and make everything as tight as possible. And it also gives it, just that little bit of growth room for the leg and the tabletop to expand and not break each other. And you guys are going to see me glue that down because it's starting to split out even more. Or, well, like I said, it's internal to the joint, doesn't really matter. No one will ever see it because if you take this thing apart, you're going to have to take it fully apart to see these. And do that. No proof whatsoever. Yeah, well, like I said, it just likes to do what it likes to do at this point. Okay. This is what, B? Okay, B goes in. Good. Now that B's in, and B is in completely, it falls completely in the way it needs to. And you guys who've been here long enough know that I don't measure. Once I start building, I don't go off of measurements, I go off of what I'm building. So, put the legs in. Now we know where to transfer the lines. And if you're a keen observer, yes, the chop is longer. That is going to be sexy. It's going to be, oh man, I didn't realize, oh, I'm going to have to plow. Oh wait, this is the rear chop. Yay, I get to have all of this nice texture, all of that curly stuff on the side. Is it getting cold again? Put her back on the warmer. So what we're going to be doing here is transferring each dovetail to the vise face. Blup. And once we get that, we can slide this on and we'll have the rear vise chop. And then once we get that on, we can make our little feets. Honestly, I might keep those legs on and just make it a piece that I tail on to the front. All right, so. Question is, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And eventually we'll put a bow tie here to take out that. Oh, wrench. How are you doing? Okay. How are we going to transfer you? You're the face that goes out. Best way to figure this out. Eyeball how much they're hanging over the edge. Okay. and then go right now. I'm just loosely lining it up. I'm not worried about it being a pencil because, well, you'll probably never see those pencil lines. I am just trying to make sure that I have a line to go to. All right, let's get these off of my bench. For a bit, get you off of my bench for a bit. I just want lines to go to, and then technically, because we are lined up to the top, hell, this is probably the best way to do it. Now that I think about it, because the top is lined up, that's lined up. That tells me exactly how deep I need to make the cut, but we need to do it this way. I was stupid. Flip it 180 so that I can actually get to my stuff. Flip it 180 so I don't screw things up. And right now they're just alignment lines. They're just there. To tell me things. And I'm realizing now I'm doing this the stupidest way possible. There you are. Anyway, let's get cracking to the actual thing we need to do. This front face here is my reference face, so make sure everything's kind of lined up and not terribly out of focus. And there we go. Now we start transferring. I just want actual out to outs. Okay. No, everything shifted. But that's why we have these. Hey, Rage. Glad to see you here. That's all right, my friend. right. There we go. Okay, there. True distance is marked. Good. Now comes the fun part. Work and lurk. Yep, that's about how everything is at this point. How do I want to transfer this on? The only thing I can think of is this. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Actually, now that we've got them marked, it's going to be a lot easier to transfer. Now I can just do this. And go, what the hell happened there? Where's the rubber mallet? Just want to double check. There's definitely a what the hell happened there kind of moment. Oh wait, duh, I know what happened. These are not true. That's what, because I need to, the tops are not actually true because they were dovetailed from a dovetail. They were dovetailed on a dovetail with a dovetail. So getting everything lined up is a little bit more fun. Sorry, my brain is not working here, so like I should be able to just blah. What did I knock over? Oh yay, let's hope that didn't do what I think it did. Thank you. All right, we're gonna just have to do it my way. Yeah, we'll just have to resharpen you. All right, let us struggle. The struggle bus commence. I have to, we got some chunky butt wood here. That's roughly about the same size, cool. All right, struggle busing. It's all right. Making as many jigs as possible. Okay. This is what happens when you're not exactly sure how to do things. Okay. Ha ha ha! That works magnificently. Okay, good, 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 good. That means I can just... All right, this will work. It will work. You just got to make it work. Here. We just need a... This is how we make it work. I mean, it's a drop, but I don't know. I mean, it's my knife, not really anything else. Well, at least I have a line. Every time I have to do something like this, I remember working with Dad. And I lovingly remember that I was the person holding things steady so that he could do things like this. Yep. Because doing this with one set of hands is damn near impossible. And I do mean it that way. It is damn near impossible. All right, have a good one, Mecca. We'll see if I can ever get enough, sprout a third or fourth pair of hands to do this, because everything shifts as soon as I touch it. And I can't clamp it because I need to be able to verify that I'm right where I'm at. Sorry for being short, guys. Just sometimes this kind of stuff is supremely aggravating when you don't have the ability at least with this. I can do this real quick. Lining up the bottom is easy. You just go for it. But what I'm trying to do, since these fronts kind of got knocked out, I'm just trying to, basically I'm taking this square, lining it to the face, or I'm taking my knife and putting it in a reference line, and until they're and just shifting everything until it's square. Okay, there we go. Being as gentle as possible, and then marking where the trough of the dovetail begins so that I can get this guy cut. Okay, Jesus. Woo! Okay, we're moving forward now, guys. I swear. All right. We've got enough marks to move forward. All right. I don't even know what time it is anymore. Okay, take that scrap off, take that scrap off. Put you here and here. Pick you up, put you over here. And now we've got our basic lines. So we now know where the bottoms are. Where the tops are. Now we're just transcribing lines. In all reality, I'm just getting everything set up for the reality of cutting. Okay. Baseline is fully transcribed. Baseline's transcribed. And I am kind of wondering how close I am. Okay. I'm actually fairly close to the angle I intended. If that says anything. Okay, got these transcribed here. Use the reference face. Oop-a-doo. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. There we go. Reference face. 12:20 Eastern. All right, that means I still have an hour and at least I'm not trimming an existing leg anymore. I mean, we are actually moving on to this portion. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Which means let's cut us some sliding dovetail grooves. Okay. That's something I want to double check. Whoa! Whoa! Brain! Westfalling, thank you for the follow. New name, actually. If you don't mind, I'm just going to give you the standard question of how'd you find me? What do you think's interesting? If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Solid inch. Right on the money. Okay. That makes me wonder if I know you. Tell you the truth. I won't ask. At least not on stream. But considering I actually know Rommel, J.K. Rommel, makes me wonder. Actually, we'll do it the easy way. We want to do a solid inch down, let's just do a solid inch down. But right now I am working on a Moxon Vise bench combo for my woodworking bench. It's going to hopefully help me do dovetails the way I'm envisioning how to use it. It's most likely going to be mostly used for dovetails. Possibly other projects in the future too, but main use will be dovetails. Yeah, it really is. Really is useful at times. All right, now. All right. But just in case you do not know me, my name is Wes. This is Plain Old Woodworking. I plan to do as much hand tool woodworking as possible. I actually don't think I've pulled a power tool out on stream in months at this point. Pencil back up and swing out the bits. All right. And my favorite little accessory for my brace. All right. Now how big of a diameter are these? Because I might just try and do this as one solid. Let's see, so it's 1.25 inches. Inch and a quarter. There we go. Number 10 is perfect. Yeah, that's the big deal is I have one electrical outlet to work with. The other outlet in my garage is for the sub pump. Okay. As much as it's my favorite accessory for the bit and brace, I always forget how to put it on. because typically I don't need it. There we go. What this conglomerate of metal is that I just slapped onto the bit is a depth stop. Get it mostly tight. It provides two little cast iron feeties. And nope, too tight. So that I can do this. All right, lay it down. And speaking of sub pumps, then you tighten her in. Now you have a built-in depth stop that will not let you bore any deeper than you plan on. Inch it over just slightly. I was wrong. Back this way. Where's my good hole? There we go. Loud noises. Every time the sub pump is literally saying, "Let me sing you the song of my people." Almost there. And yep, there we go. I'm hoping it's not too deep or that didn't just raise on me. Oh, you little, okay, well, it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does matter, but in the grand scheme of things. All right, depth stop hit. Next. Very true. As long as the sub pump's doing its job, it's keeping the water off the floor. I don't want to have to take all my stuff inside again. I am so glad I got this 12-inch throw brace. I don't know if I'll ever go back to the Dunlap brace that I had. This thing just is a dream. Also, it's in a little bit better condition. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look that deep. Looks about the right depth, actually. So we're good. Yep. And just hair over. Okay, and that should be the end of that one. All right, we're getting where I want to be. All right. Loosen you, loosen you. I swear I'm not sponsored by Vintage Stanley, but a ton of the stuff you see has probably got Stanley written on it somewhere. Because, well, they made really good tools back in the day. How good? I have a 100-year-old number 4 plane that I use every day. The only thing I've had to do was get it a new blade because the original was not in good condition. Why am I not using my brush? One of these days I'm going to learn to not lay the bits directly in front of what I'm drilling. Or have a slightly different setup where I have like a small bench for all of my tools. Like to lay the tools next to, just have like a little tool bench. Like maybe like a back counter behind me, where the tool bench will reside, and the tool cabinet that I built. Speaking of, 1 second. You gonna follow me? Follow me? Yeah. Okay, good. This is the tool cabinet I'm talking about. This was the most recent project that was built here. All right. Then, gotta do that. All right, lock. Good boy. Good spot. Get my crosscut saw. My carcass saw, whichever you want to call it. All right, get me a chisel. And get me a prayer in heaven. It's time to do or die. Make sure you're good and waxed up. For the cut. Oh yeah, that was the most recent upgrade I made to my streaming, was to get this little camera called an OBS bot. And sometimes I call it OBS bot just to be weird. Because then it's not a bunch of syllables. But it has basic tracking functions. And you can turn it on and off with a small hand gesture. And I can also have it, let's see. Come on. Oh, Sometimes it doesn't like to do it unless it's tracking. Let's see. Come on, you know what to do. I can have it zoom in a little. So. There we go. Oh, are you still tracking? You're still tracking me. Dirty obspot. There we go. So now, not only did it follow, now we have a little bit better view of the bench front side. Now comes the fun part. Of cutting this groove. So fun that I should not be sitting. There will be no sitting. And I learned my lesson last time, slightly overcutting it is better than not. I'm just keeping an eye that the cut never makes it all the way up. Oh, I know Cats probably doesn't like it though, because my beard's not, you know, in full mountaineering mode. There. Just, you're not actually seeing what I'm doing, so there's no point in having it closed up that much. I realize now, we're going to stop right now and fix it. I really do need to raise it up a little bit, otherwise I'm going to start cutting through the bench. We're going to do that, but we're going to do it in a weird way. Do not throw your good expensive chisels on the ground. We're still going to just do this and knock it. Because I'm liking having it this far in or more. Do your job. And now we play the cutting game. Oh, hey, ooh, we got a new guy. Let's see, relower. I'm just going to call you Relo. Hey, Relo, I'm working on a Moxon Vise. Right now it doesn't look like it, but I am cutting sliding dovetails to put the vise chop on. This is the rear vise chop that will have some bolts going through, or some all thread going through it. I learned from last time, just kind of connect the dots, and then make a relief cut down the middle here afterwards. Yeah, but reload is fine. Okay, thank you. Rolo. There we go. I just gotta break it down into sounds. Rolo. Use them phonics, phonetics. Rolo. Make sure I haven't missed anything here. All right. We're doing good though, guys. We're gonna take us a small coffee break. I know that doesn't mean I'm actually breaking. Oh, nice! You can actually see the wood storage and the long saws. Actually, that's plenty warm enough. Let's leave it here so I can just drink it as I need it. I should have worked like that. Oh, a stretch and Spunkmeyer. Thank you for the follow. Let's pull. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Loud noises. This is not working. We do need to have this at the edge. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Oh, Relo, thank you for the follow, mate. Always glad to have more people watching me as I putter around in my shop. Hopefully after we get done with this, because it's basically I'm making it especially for dovetails and things like that. We'll be doing a box of some form, I think, after this. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna have to just drill a hole somewhere around there, aren't we? Or just deal with the fact that's how you do it. You don't have to have it perfectly. I don't like it being right in front of the saw. There we go. That's how we get around this. Now I can do this. Find that edge and come back up. and then we can come back to this side here soon. Just want to make sure that I'm not cutting all the way to the top. Okay. And this one we don't really care about as much. This is just a relief cut so that we can get stuff out of here. Come on. So we'll be chiseling that soon, and basically it's a combination of saw, chisel, saw, chisel, saw, chisel, until we've got a nice clean dovetail groove to put that sliding dovetail in. I agree with you there. Little good practice and a lot of patience. Sliding dovetails are proving to be a little difficult, to say the least. There we go. Oh, not what I wanted to do, but it will be. What happens? All right. Okay, this is going to be a little bit harder because it's not giving me as much space on my arm, but there are always ways around that. Always ways around it. Give me some space on my arm, that'll work. All right. Hooray for being left-handed. That'll work. It'll work just fine. There we go. There we go. You just gotta be creative. Ooh, a little too far up there. But we get that deep cut in and then we put it back on the thing. Sounds like a plan. All right, so let's do that. Do. Now we are going to switch plans once again. I said this is all just, you stay where you're put. I don't have that much control just yet. I do not have that much control. It's a good idea, just don't have that much control. All right, now that we've got these established, I can get them where I've got at least enough arm room to do what is needed. Almost need a cameraman or an automated bot to do that, like a really good bot. Actually, Streamer Bot would be able to do that. I just have to program commands, but I would need more cameras and more intelligent ones like the OBS bot. I have one static camera and one that can kind of track me. Fully, we'll come back to that in a bit. There we go. Come on. Okay, good relief cut there. Let's double check this. Okay, that's pretty much as good as it goes. That's pretty much as good as it goes. All right, we can start hammering away now, guys. Boop, doop, 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 doop. Okay. Another knocker. Key Knockers Incorporated has been established. There we go. Grab another chisel because this is probably a little too big. Which one is the second camera? We talking front or up? All right. Just a little bit up. Let's see, can I see? Okay, I can at least. Well, we can see this one. We'll start on this one then. Little two. I want to be able to see both sides. I don't want to have to reposition it. It's a pain to reposition. But we are now in the position to start knocking these out. What I'm doing right now is cutting off this exterior face so we don't have too much blowout. We get the big boy. Do it to both of them so we can just I love how that one was much tighter grain. All right, take the big boy. I just want to make sure. All right. Honestly, let's just keep going this way. Might actually work better. Actually, no, there's a reason why you go the other way. It's so you can eject chips easier. Do-do-do. That out of the way. hoping it'd be exactly the size I need. It is exactly not the size I need. How about you? You'll do just fine. There we go. Now I can push against them. And it is rock solid this way. Now we just chip it on out. It's too big. That's what I thought. We start chipping as much as we can to relieve the saw, then come back in and saw some more. All right, but we are getting close to the end of the stream today, but we at least started this, and I'm happy because stop dovetails are an annoyance. I tell you, or stop sliding dovetails are a pretty good challenge. I'm glad I tried them, because now I have tried them and my skill has increased. Because I know basically what I should be doing each step. And I'm not guessing like the last time. I have experience to go off of. Yes, leveling up. Woodworking. I don't know what level I'm at anymore, but I'm there. Definitely not level 50. Maybe like 10. I'm definitely not way up there. But if you can see from here, we're slowly grooving out that dovetail. That one giant sliding dovetail. We're just getting there. I do want to do this real quick. basic idea is we're going to chip out, take the saw again, you know, since we're able to follow this edge, we'll be able to cut it a little bit further down, a little bit, and then chip it out, cut a little bit further down, chip it out, so that these overcut lines are the only overcuts we have. We'll be going further and further down, and then I will eventually take my router plane and just smooth off the bottom once we get to the bottom. Yep, I think we're too far down here. Okay, yep. Hey, free fall. A little bit bad time for you to join. We're about to break for a day, actually. Glad to see you drop in. Glad to see you drop in. So to give people an idea of what we're building, because basically going to be stopping here in about 10 minutes. Actually, probably sooner than that. My stomach's starting to tell me it's food time, and I wasn't planning on a long stream today. Get the knee knockers back this way. To give you an idea of what we've been doing. Over here. This is actually the rear chop. Oh no! Oh, that's not that big of a deal. So here's the table with the legs. Eventually we will cut little feet out at the back. We put sliding dovetails down the front. We're working on the grooves right now to put the sliding dovetail to hammer this down, which will lock the feet in, and it will mind the gap. Basically, it's going to be the front jaw or the rear chop of the vise. So imagine that's sliding down or so. It won't go all the way down. And then front chop to go on front of it so that you have that. We're actually getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. Because once this is fitted, everything's going real fast, because the only other joinery I'll have is to put the front feet on. But we are getting somewhere with this. Let me put stretcher back out. There we go. Bloop. But we are getting there, because we're currently cutting these sliding dovetail grooves out. It's stopped, mind you. They are stopped. But we're getting somewhere with it. Yeah. There we go. And once those are cut, I'll see if I can get a good tight fit with it. And then we move on to mortise and tenon the front feet into it, and then basically glue up. But as I said, kind of, like I said, this was not planned to be a long day. But I am glad we're getting somewhere, and it's looking relatively the way I wanted it to look. So let's see if I can find someone to lay it out on. Okay, we got fourth room is brewing. Yep. Make mistakes. Why is it playing music when I am not actually watching you? It's playing music when it's turned off. Not really music, it's playing an ad for, because I accidentally jumped into it. I love the Twitch app. So many quirks. Let's just put it that way. So many quirks. Oh, it's a good day for me. It's not a long day, so it's not a 4-hour stream day for me this time. A lot of the times Sunday does turn into a 4-hour day, just not today. Honestly, okay, so we got fourth room. If we want to go to brewing, let's see if there's any woodworking before I do that. Leatherworking. A lot of Legos. Modeling. And you know what? It's fourth room TV. We're going to go watch someone brew some beer. How about that? He seems like a great guy. All right, guys. We're going to head out. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Like usual. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. And so Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central Time, I'll be working on that some more. I might work on the grooves in the meantime, see if I can get them mostly fitted up. All right. Have a good one, guys. Say hello to fourth room.